podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Happy Thursday. It is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3. Thanks for making us a part of your afternoon. Going up to 6 o'clock. I'm Clint Scott. He's Rob Breaux. Brennan Riker back at home base taking care of us. We all also have a Long Jim Silvers right here in the flesh. As he shakes his head, yes, I love that nickname. Jimmy Cook taking care of us here at Mercedes-Benz of Lubbock. Come by, come say hi, come get a pair of sunglasses, maybe a cup, maybe dive into the swag bag here. Lots of good stuff we have for you here at the table.
It's not just a cup.
It's not just a cup.
It's a Yeti.
Okay.
It's an experience. It's a very nice, keep your beverage warm, keep your ice. Just like Mercedes-Benz, it's not just a car, Clint. It's an experience.
I call everything cups. You're just going to have to deal with it. It's that Yeti cup over there.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, if I say, hey, grab that
Kansas
cup over
license plate.
If I say, like, grab that cup over there, you could turn around. It could be a coffee mug. It could be a Yeti cup. It could be a wine glass. It could be a plastic cup with Buzz Lightyear on it. Who knows? Just covering all the bases there. Let's dive into today's top headline, shall we? And we'll start with what we have as soon as we're through here at 6 o'clock on Double T 97.3, live from Rudy's. It is Red Raider football with Joey McGuire. You can listen here on Double T 97.3, or if you can make it out to Rudy's, you can listen to it live. You can write in a question, be a part of the program over there. I don't know what – I'd have to ask Level this. I feel like you've had Ask Level. The Ask Level podcast is a question. When you tune in on that on the weekends. You can do that. I feel like they have had a crazy amount of questions this year. Like, it's always good. It's always steady. But it feels like he's been loaded down with questions this year, so I'm sure he appreciates those. Coach McGuire appreciates those. Tonight, 6:30, 100.7 the score. It is Thursday night football. A little interdivision matchup tonight, Rob. The Los Angeles Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. This opened as a 3.5-point spread for the Rams. Do you know what it is now? Would you like to take a stab at it?
I saw this earlier. 8.5.
Nailed it. Yeah. I believe Brock Purdy out.
Juwan Jennings out.
Yeah.
Pearsall out.
That was rough for the 49ers.
Yeah. And the Rams have a couple guys out, too.
Yeah.
I think the 49ers have, obviously, Christian McCaffrey. But then their number one receiver tonight's like Kendrick Bourne.
Someone shared a list, and I was like, boy, this looks like a roster that Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl with his receivers.
Well, we'll see if Mac Jones can get the same Mac magic going.
Mac magic. You can hear it again, 6:30, 100.7 the score. Out at a lot going on tonight. Out of John Walker, Texas Tech soccer continues on with their season. Big 12 play. This will start a 3-game stint all at home. It's going to start tonight with Oklahoma State. The Cowgirls are 4-5-2, 0-2-1 in Big 12 play, with the Red Raiders ranked 18th or 13th, depending on where you look. We like the one that you're ranked 13th, so we're going to stick with that. 8-1-1 on the season, 2-0-1 overall. They're coming off of a win. Good luck to them. Good luck to Coach Stone. Texas Tech volleyball continues on with Big 12 play tonight as well. They're on the road. They were at Houston the last time out. That was a 3-1 loss. Tonight they are in Ames taking on the Iowa State Cyclones before they come back home this Saturday to host TCU. Good luck to volleyball as well. Texas Tech baseball. If you missed this, we had the official announcement for the Shriners Children's College Showdown. Knew the opponents, just needed the times and dates, things like that. The good news is if you were worried about first pitch changes, time changes, anything like that, with games running late, extra innings, or just slow games, well, at least on Friday and Saturday, you don't have to worry about any of that. Oklahoma taking on Texas Tech, 11 a.m. That's Friday, February 13th. Saturday, February 14th, the very next day, it's another 11 a.m. first pitch when they take on Vanderbilt. And then on Sunday is the day that you are the second game. That's a 2:30 scheduled start against Arkansas.
I'm excited for that game.
Which one? I was going to ask, which one of those are you the most excited about?
The second one there, yeah. I wonder, with Arkansas in particular, right?
Mm-hmm.
We saw Meacham take over last week and throw the kitchen sink at Baylor. Obviously, they couldn't win. I think Arkansas is more talented, obviously, with the new coach bump, as I like to say. What can Arkansas do?
Switching from baseball to football there.
You're talking about baseball.
You swerved on me. I was, talking
That's
about
my
the Shriners class.
I was
fully paying
the camera
attention
look
here.
at just your face.
Why are you doing that?
Well, I was trying to get the exposure right.
Brendan, we can kill the bed.
I want this stream to look as good, Clint, as it does in our eyes. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to have a quality product. And it's hurting the quality of the radio show because I was listening to you. Baseball, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt.
The most roundabout answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dynamite drop in. To answer your question, though, conversation
trying to be like Gus here.
Conversation switch. So you mentioned, we talked about coaching searches yesterday. I want to talk a little bit about it with you today as well because I've seen a name pop up for the Arkansas job, and it cannot be real. I refuse to believe that it's real. I hope it is. It would be the funniest thing in the world. I'll go ahead and drop it. I've seen Mike Gundy on Arkansas lists.
Follow me here.
Okay.
Rhett Lashley.
To Arkansas.
Eric Morris. To SMU. Zach Kittley. To North Texas. Mike Gundy is out there open, right?
Mm-hmm.
G.J. Kinney to Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Texas State. Mike
Gundy. Coach O had a little confirmation that he's ready to get back into coaching, too. He grumbled to a reporter.
Yeah.
I was going to see what the best out there is, and we'll take that. But I'm ready to go.
It would be awesome to see Gruden and Orgeron, offense, defense, get something going somewhere in the SEC.
Did you see the clip from 2022 that was shared? I don't know what convention it was at, but it was John Gruden. And they were interviewing him if he would ever coach the college game, and he was set up in some way like that. At least that's how he answered it. And the way he said it was like, I never thought about going to college because the way that you can't pay players, essentially, I would get in trouble in a heartbeat. But it's like, now that things are different, and 2022 specifically said, I'd love that Arkansas job. And that's being reshared. The clip from 2022.
See, they're crazy enough to do something like that.
Yes, and that's okay because I feel like Mike Gundy's being thrown out there because I feel like people that are putting these lists together are doing a mix of what we really think is going to happen, like we really think they're going after a Rhett Lashley, but also Arkansas, of the four major ones that are open, are the most likely to be like, we're going after name value.
Would Mike Gundy, out of spite, go all in with NIL going to Oklahoma State, from Oklahoma State to Arkansas?
Arkansas wouldn't take him.
Isn't that why he just got
shouldn't
fired?
hire him. Of what they just watched, they wouldn't take him. It's just funny that I keep seeing him on lists. That's why I said I refuse to believe that it's real.
The podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3. presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'll tell you what website I use all the time, doubletsportsnetwork.com. Daily content goes up there. You can track down all of our articles. You can get to the chat line from there. You can get to our live shows, all of that.
You can listen to both Double T and The Score.
Yeah.
Do you know what website I use all the time?
What website, Rob?
Mercedes-Benz of Lubbock.com.
You can use that as well.
Just like perusing.
That's how you can reach Mercedes. Well, one of the many ways you can reach Mercedes-Benz of Lubbock. The .com threw me off. Mercedes-Benz of Lubbock, 1702 Texas Avenue. Come by. Come say hi. If you do, we still have some Yeti cups. We got some sunglasses. We got plenty of stuff.
They're going
in
fast.
The swag bag.
Better come see us.
Let me just
koozies.
Just randomly grab in here. See what.
This is great radio.
If you're watching on TV, look, I just pulled out a koozie and sunglasses. This could be yours. You could be walking up. Those really are cool.
Do you have a picture of the day in the swag bag?
No.
No.
But we have a play of the day from Brendan Riker.
Take it away, Brendan.
104 from Mason Miller. About as fast as a human being has ever thrown a baseball.
And look, it's not just the velocity. I mean, 104 is ridiculous, but look at the placement of it. I mean, you couldn't walk up there and set it any better than that. 104.
So yesterday, Mason Miller had a pitch that was at 104 miles per hour on the corner for a strikeout. I think the last 12 or 13 batters he's faced have all been struck out. And now the Cubs and Padres are in Game 3. By the way, he struck out Carson Kelly in that at-bat.
You know what I loved about that is, do you remember, was it last year? Ellie De La Cruz had that throw that was, and he's a freak of an athlete, don't get me wrong. It was insanely hard, but it was like 4 feet in front of his above his first baseman. It was not even close to accurate. And everyone was freaking out. And I was like, okay, well, it's kind of us freaking out about Jamarcus Russell. Look how far he can throw it. It's like, okay, well, can he get it into the vicinity of a receiver? I like that this one was a good freak out because that was, one of the best pitches of all time.
Yes.
Singular pitches, almost unhittable, amazing spot. How many batters are going to take that pitch and just... I loved the image. You know what it was like? Whenever they show the image of the drawn strike zone or whatever, or the picture of the strike zone there, and then you have the little baseball in the K. It was like the same satisfaction of the screensaver that just bounces around and everybody's waiting for it to hit perfectly in the corner. It finally does, and everyone loses their mind. That was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that pitch. Sure. All right. What's your description?
It was paint. Yeah. Right on the corner, man. You couldn't have walked up there and put it any closer. Was that Harold that said that?
This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Old Razzle Dazzle said, the Burt and Klonk show just feels like the right name after this whole baseball football debacle that just happened. We'll see.
It happens.
See if we can change it, at least for today, the Burt and Klonk show. This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line from Eric on Wheels. I think the Tech defense is good, one of the best in the conference. I just can't see Houston scoring 27, even in 6 quarters.
Yeah, give them 8. Right?
Right.
I just...
What's the max? Do you if things... Let's say if things went wrong offensively, or maybe they had a special teams touchdown, anything like that, things didn't go your way, what is the max that you think Houston would score?
17.
I think I'd give them, I don't know. I was going to say 21.
21.
Just to give them a little bit, because I do think that they're a solid team. And solid enough to take advantage. But just what have you seen from their offense Not to show you that it's been better.
Defense. It's more about the Tech defense.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, even from their offense, what have you seen that's been like, I don't know, put the fear of God in you or anything like that? Because it's been better, but it hasn't been consistent, and it's been against worse defenses. The best statistical defense they've gone up against is Rice.
And they struggled with Rice through 3 quarters and then scored 21 in the 4th. And it was 2 really long Dean Connors runs. And Dean Connors is a fine running back. He's top 5 in the Big 12 in rushing. I think he's 5th. And he came from Rice. He's playing at Houston now. I really do think he's good. He's got a swimmer's build. But I don't think that he's going to be able to break away from this Texas Tech defense. Now, this offensive line at Houston is much better at run blocking than they are pass blocking. But they've not seen Lee Hunter. They've not seen Skylar Howard. They haven't seen these 2 edge rushers. I don't know if they've seen Anthony Holmes and Jaden Cofield yet. Like players of those caliber. And that's not the starters for Texas Tech.
Holmes Holmes has had a very underrated year.
And that's not even to mention the linebackers.
I know. Well, and
Holmes technically is your second highest rated defensive tackle.
Honestly, the biggest boost of confidence moving forward, and this is why we've seen the good and the bad from both offensive lines and defensive lines in recent years, and just how that can completely ruin anything good that you might have weapon-wise. The way that you made Utah's offensive line look like everyone should be questioning why are we talking about these tackles as first-round draft picks? Why are we talking about these redshirt seniors at guard, center guard, as other guys that could be drafted or make their way onto NFL rosters? Why are we talking about it in that way, even remotely? The way that you were that good. Well, when you move on to like Houston's offensive line that is far inferior talent-wise, I mean, I just expect them as a whole, since you have so many good defensive pieces on that front, to just shut down running games unless they just have the most untackleable running back, which is not Dean Connors, which I don't think is anybody in the Big 12, unless they just have this untackleable running back, this Derrick Henry type running back, or like their version of Taj Brooks, I just think it's going to be really hard to have good running days against Texas Tech. And if that's like your first foot forward, I don't think you're going to have a very good recipe for success on Saturdays.
Yeah, Earl
at least
Campbell,
in this matchup.
Earl Campbell's not walking through that door, right? And again, all week, I try to talk myself into Houston being a good Big 12 team, because I think they're so much better than last year.
They are.
Offensively.
Yes.
And I think they're about the same good as they were last year defensively. I thought they were going to take a step back defensively, and I hoped that they would take a step forward offensively. I think they've done both, except for the defense is better than I expected, the offense is better than I expected. But I just don't think they're a good matchup at all when you look at what Texas Tech does and what Houston does.
I'm really curious, like, is this an 8-win Houston team that you're about to see? Is this a Houston win that could sniff 10? Is this a 6-6 team now the Big 12 player? I'm part of it. I'm really confused at what Houston is as well, because it's been hard to gauge from who they've played.
Yeah, just because I think they're a bad matchup with Texas Tech doesn't mean I think they're a bad matchup with the rest of the Big 12. Yeah. I think they could go out and be a 7-5, 8-4 team. And they went 3-0 in non-con. And they already have a Big 12 win.
Yeah.
So I think both of those mean that they can. I mean, can they go 3 and whatever? It's 4 and whatever across the final games? I think so.
It is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3, live from Mercedes-Benz of Lubbock. When we come back, time to pick some games with Tech Talk Locks.
The podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
It is time for some Tech Talk locks. You do have Tech Talk here on Double T 97.3 live from Mercedes-Benz of Lubbock, 1702 Texas Avenue. Come check them out. You can also check them out on mercedes-benzoflubbock.com. And if you need their number, 806-224-2907. They offer 3-year complimentary maintenance included with a new Mercedes-Benz. All right. Last week we had the old double up because you and Choice, the combination of Chob, you alternate when you represent it.
That's growing on me, by the way.
The entity. Oh, good. You're welcome. See, there was a vision. There was a vision. You're going to double up and obviously be Chob's representative today as well. We have Gus's picks from afar. Brennan's picks would be from afar, too, because he's back at the station. Yeah. Let's review real quick what happened last week. Now,
Brennan always looks like he's far away.
Now, we picked TCU at Arizona State for
good one, Rob.
We also picked Oregon at Penn State for 2 points when we did our weekly Power 4 versus Power 4 and our weekly underdog. Do you remember how you did?
No.
It wasn't good. You did not have the worst week. You had the second worst week with 2 points. Big thing of that was you went TCU and Penn State. So you missed both of those. Kyler picked for Brennan. Kyler had the worst week. Well, really, Brennan did.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
I offered. I told you, if you want to, send your picks.
Okay, from now on, Kyler does not get to pick anymore.
Uno point is what Kyler picked up for Brennan.
Okay, what were his picks?
He went TCU, Penn State, Baylor, and UCF as his upset pick. Baylor is his Power 4 pick, so Baylor was the point that he got. We all went Baylor, so we all had to get a score, which means there was a bonus point available that went to Gus, by the way. So he had 5 of the available 7, then got the bonus point for 6. I had a good week. I had 6 points. That brings our total to Gus in the lead with 25. Now I am in second place with 22 points. Chob in third with 21. And just like that, Brennan in fourth place with 19 points. All right, Brennan, let's have you go first today. We're going against the spread. Texas Tech, 11.5-point favorite versus Houston. With the spread, Brennan, you might as well give a score here. Who do you have?
The Red Raiders cover the spread. What did I say in my prediction? I think I said 38-14. That might be a little high, but I'm going to go with 38-14.
Gus is going to cover at 35-17. I'm going to cover at 45-17, and I still feel bad about that Houston score. I wish I would have pushed that lower, but since I did that at the start of the week, I'm just going to stay there. Rob?
I was not afraid to change my score. Texas Tech 38, Houston 3.
Yeah, I like yours a lot more. All right, this is an underrated game that I do want to talk about the Big 12 schedule a little bit later, but an underrated game this week is Iowa State at Cincinnati for 2 points. Brennan, the Cyclones or the Bearcats?
I will take the Fighting Matt Campbells.
Iowa State on the road. That is who Gus is going to take as well. I'm going to believe in Brendan Sorsby in 2 weeks, back-to-back weeks, and take Cincinnati at home. This is a 1.5 spread, by the way. Give me Cincinnati.
That line stinks. Give me Iowa State.
All right, Bearcat Island.
Not stinks isn't bad. It's smelly.
Let's go Power 4 versus Power 4. Brennan, who's your freebie this week?
BYU over West Virginia.
Good pick. That one's at BYU, if I remember correctly.
Go Nears.
Gus, for his Power 4 pick, is going to take Penn State over UCLA. I thought about that game. I'm going to instead take, just for a little different flavor, Michigan over Wisconsin.
It's Michigan.
That's what I said.
Ohio State over Minnesota. Lots of Big Ten games there.
I think it's pronounced Minnesota.
Like a small can of pop. Yeah, I like it. How about your underdog pick there, Brennan?
Oh, my gosh. You Kansas. My underdog pick will be Purdue over Illinois.
Okay. Guess with this classic, I'm going to double up. is going to take Cincinnati as his upset pick after picking Iowa State.
Hedging. That worked for me last week.
You ready for, well, sort of. You ready for my upset pick?
It's a guaranteed point.
The Oregon State Beavers are finally going to get a win, 1.5 dog to App State. You went there too.
Let's go Beavers.
They're the best 0-5 team
I agree.
in the country.
They're the only 0-5 team, but
they're also the best.
I believe it. Let's go Beavers.
All right, there you go. If you want to tell us where we were right, where we were wrong, if you want to give us some of your own picks, you can play along on the 8th Flooring Center chat line. I really am. If they had won, I don't know, against Fresno State or any, if they'd be, even if they'd beaten Cal, I don't think I'd be as interested as I am in Oregon State. But since they've just had, should have won last week against Houston. Oregon, they were going to be doomed against them. I know they would love to replay that Fresno State game. For some reason, since they're 0-5 and you saw them here, I am going to be paying attention to their season until they win a game. So if my pick's right, then after this week, I probably won't care. But I'm just so intrigued by them.
I agree. I just, they can't be as bad as they've looked, especially against Fresno State. The game wasn't even as bad as it looked because they had the fumble issues with the snaps, and they couldn't get a snap down with the punter or the field goal kicker. And then they gave up that long touchdown at the end that kind of skewed it as well. So I think Malik Murphy's a good quarterback. It has not looked good.
I think I go the other way because I was sitting there just thinking, okay, well, there's multiple reasons why he wasn't going to ever hold down the starting job at Texas. But then, in my eyes, clearly downgraded from Duke to Oregon State. And there's a reason why they ran him off and went and grabbed Tulane's quarterback. I'm going to keep talking over this.
Is this a live version?
I dislike what you've done.
Is this a live
why did you do a live version? But I think
couldn't find a recorded version. They're all live.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep talking over this. Malik Murphy, if he was a good quarterback, I think would be able to elevate Oregon State, and I think he's brought them down.
The podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I love when Brennan uses subliminal messages of what he wants. He would like to be taken home. He is so done back at the First United Bank studio. But he's got another hour with us. It's Tech Talk on Double T 97.3. Clint Scott, Rob Breaux, and Jimmy Cook is here as well. We are live.
Come save me, Jimmy. Jimmy, come save me. If you can hear this, save me.
He's standing right by the speaker, so I just yelled into his ear. We are live from Mercedes-Benz of Lubbock, live here every single Thursday for road games for Red Raider football. We just gave away one cup. We just helped with a sunglasses crisis. Broken right in front of us. Immediately, hey, here's the replacement right here.
That's what they do here at Mercedes-Benz of Lubbock. I'm sure if you brought a trade-in, they could do that as well. For a car, for sunglasses,
yes,
whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know what I've been thinking? You see this Sprinter van, this Mercedes Sprinter over here, the 2500?
Yes.
Wouldn't you like to see the Double T 97.3 logo on the side of that bad boy?
Here's the thing.
We need to get Brad Moran in here to get a nice Mercedes Sprinter for the station.
He's here last week. So.
Well, I know. We need to get him shopping for a Sprinter.
Here's the problem. If we did that, the Double T 97.3 new van, the new Sprinter, would be taken, I'm not going to say who, would be taken to lakes, rivers,
you'd be trying to do
road
all
trips.
Yeah.
Look, let me take Tech Talk on the road. Come on, this is now a cross-country show. From sea to shining sea.
I thought you were quoting TLC for a second. Chasing waterfalls.
Chasing waterfalls. One more hour with us here on Tech Talk, which means one more hour to hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, thoughts, comments, questions. Ask Tech Talk will be at 5:45. We'll have the Juice round 2 at 5:15. Catch you up on some baseball scores, things like that. We had some help on your theory for Lincoln Park. On the chat line, they say it is 100% not Chester's daughter.
Yeah, I got that confused with Dave Grohl's daughter sang with the Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters. And Kurt Cobain's daughter sang with the members of Nirvana, which also features Dave Grohl. So yes, that was my bad.
That's right.
It happens.
Talk about lobster font.
Hey, you talk 6 hours a day on the radio like I have done today.
Use the lobster font. Technically only 5 hours. You've got one more pal to get to 6.
We'll get there.
Let's run through some lines. I want your thoughts on this weekend in the Big 12. Because the reason is, as I still think whatever this means to you as a fan, you still hold the title of the most entertaining conference. You obviously have the most parity. There's a great shot you're going to already have some of that this year, because you're hoping to be that parity as the Red Raiders getting their first Big 12 championship. But with it, we always talked about, and have the past couple of years, boy, every single week, even the ones you don't expect, they are close games. There's not blowouts. Everyone is just neck and neck every single week. But last weekend, that wasn't the case. This week, there are some huge lines in the conference. Let's start with the Friday night game. I'm just going to run through some of these bigger ones. BYU, a 19.5-point favorite at home against West Virginia. That's a 9:30 kick over on ESPN. You are a big line, 11.5-point favorite on the road at Houston. I'm really curious if this location was switched, what that line would be.
Yeah.
15?
That line started at, I think, 12.5 or 11.5, went up to 12.5, down to 10.5.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's seemingly settled at 11.5.
Here's your just bank on this being a big line of whoever they play. Arizona at home against Oklahoma State, 20.5-point favorite for the Wildcats. And then TCU at home, a 13.5-point favorite over Colorado. Obviously, the game we're the most invested in is that Tech versus Houston one. If you took off the Red Raider cap there for a second, which line is the most interesting to you of these double-digit spreads?
Of the double-digit spreads.
It still could be you.
No. I think TCU, Colorado. Here, I'll talk about the other two. Arizona, Oklahoma State, that's not interesting to me really at all.
Yeah, Doug Meacham showed the entire playbook last week, so what else is there?
Can BYU score enough to win by 19.5? I think they can absolutely dominate West Virginia. They can hold them to 10. Can they score 30? Against West Virginia? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, the TCU line, 13.5. TCU losing to Arizona State in the way that they did last week, they're not built to keep a lead. They're not built to sustain a football game. They can't run the ball. And it's the weirdest thing.
They can't and they don't.
It's the weirdest thing because the Breaux offense, especially with Art, but certainly with Kendall in the last, his last few stops, they've really been focused on running the ball. In the last 2 years, year and a half, they just haven't been able to do it. Now, they've had some running back injuries, but, since what? He's with the Charger. Where is he? Where's the DeMarcado? Demarius? I can't think of his name. Since that TCU running back where they had the undefeated season, until the national championship game.
Need to pronounce properly.
I can't even think of his name. Anyway, since that guy, they really haven't had a guy take over the running back role and be a bruiser and grind out some games. If they have a lead, I don't know that they can keep it. So even if they get past the spread, if they get up by 14, 17, I think Colorado can make a storm at the end. I don't trust TCU to cover 13.5 against anybody, really.
You're talking about Kendre Miller?
He was another one. That's not the name that was in my head. He was the guy I was thinking of, but that's not the name I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Who was the punt returner? Who returned the punt against Texas Tech in that season. That's the guy.
Amari DeMercado.
That's what I said.
That was if I were a TCU fan, that would have been on my list of worries, both the running game and also the run defense, because both of those were objectively horrendous and also statistically horrendous last year. And it's like in the offseason, they're like, let's not even try to get better at the run game. Let's just completely abandon it. Josh Hoover's our guy. He's going to throw it all the time, and we're not going to even show an ounce of balance with the offense. And I think that bit them against Arizona State, and I think will bite them down the line again. Maybe not so much against Colorado.
It's every Red Raiders' favorite podcast. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Check, and check. It is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3, live from Mercedes-Benz.
Yes, you're live, Clint.
Lubbock.
You're doing check.
Yeah, thank you. Brennan live from home base over there, because we are live from Mercedes-Benz of Lubbock. 30 more minutes with us. Ask Tech Talk will be in 15 minutes from now. I'm Clint Scott. He's Rob Breaux. And for Gus today, we'll be here at Mercedes-Benz of Lubbock every Thursday when the Red Raiders are on the road, just like they are this week at Houston. I just wanted to round out.
Have a problem.
I wanted to round out a thought for Arkansas.
Go ahead and round it out, buddy.
Because we're talking about Doug Meacham as he's the interim. Feels like he threw the book at Baylor. I'm not sure what else that they're going to be able to do offensively. Arkansas is in an interesting boat for Petrino. Because I don't think this is the case for Meacham at Oklahoma State. I do think that from here on out, it's an audition for Petrino. That's why they gave him full control. Like, do whatever you want with the staff.
I think Meacham probably thinks it's an interview.
Well, I'm sorry, Meacham, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
You look at what Arkansas has for the proverbial, throw the book, whatever that is for Arkansas, and you're at Tennessee. You have a very good Texas A&M team. You have a tougher-than-expected Auburn, a tougher-than-expected Mississippi State, at LSU, at whatever at this stage Texas is, and then home against a very good Missouri team. Is there a chance, or what is the chance that you see them stay at 2 wins this year?
I think Meacham's offense was being held back by Mike Gundy. I think Mike Gundy wanted to run the offense in a certain way, and he dictated that to Meacham. And so when Gundy got fired, Meacham kind of got to do whatever he wanted. And I don't know that Meacham's ever had an opportunity to just do whatever he wants, because when he was at Kansas, he didn't have the talent. When he was at I thought I was going to get more pushback there. When he was at TCU, Gary Patterson was holding him back. With Petrino, I don't think Sam Pittman was doing much. I think he's already been doing what he's been trying to do. So I don't see the same kind of scenario at Arkansas with Petrino. I think he's been trying to do what he wants to do. Now maybe they'll be more aggressive. Maybe the game planning will be a little bit different. But yeah, I think there's a great chance they stay at 2 wins this year. They've got some really good pieces. They're just not deep enough to compete in the SEC. I really like their quarterback. Taylor Green, but
so does whatever next school he's at.
Yeah.
This on the chat line, Resident Aggie had this. Weigman is not a good quarterback. Only concern I have is that at least for one game, he hits every throw. I hope this is not the game that he does. You know what's interesting about him? Because he hasn't been. There's a reason why he wasn't holding things down at Texas A&M and has not remotely lived up to the 3rd highest quarterback in that 2022 class and the top pure passer. The best thing I think he's done at Houston is he's played within the offense. And I don't know how many people are saying they are explosive. This is not an explosive offense. It's not what it is. It's borderline a check down offense when you get to the passing game. But then you have guys like Stephon Johnson, who is a dynamic playmaker. I mean, he's your big play threat. And I think Dean Connors has a little bit of that. But, I mean, that's not what you're doing. Your best weapon is Koziel, the tight end, who I think is the biggest threat to Terrence Carter, maybe Joe Royer at Cincinnati. But I think those are your biggest threats for first-team tight end. And Koziel, you knew he was good coming in from Ball State. That I think for Weigman, he's done a good job of just taking what's been given to him for the most part. But if things are completely shut down, and you saw a little bit of this when they were trying to figure things out against Oregon State when he finally throws a pick, if you can ramp that up by 5, which you absolutely could with your defense, that's where I think if you can force him into those situations that you see the Weigman that struggled at Texas A&M.
Rice got 2 sacks against Houston. Colorado got 3. Oregon State got 3 and had him running for his life in the first half. You absolutely can get to Weigman. It does not seem to me that they have an explosive offense, but you look at their stats and they've scored 14 touchdowns, 7 in the red zone, 7 outside the red zone. So they're kind of explosive, like
at times. But when you say an explosive offense,
defense, right, against those defenses,
like you're an explosive offense because you are constantly trying to do that.
Right.
You are constantly trying to look for big plays and a defense that you can exploit in a massive way every single drive. That's not what Houston is. They are, if it's there, great, but we're not leaning on that. We got this on the chat line. Sprinter van with a couch for on-the-road coverage driving to West Virginia would be such a blast. In. Red
Raider Recon on the road?
Oh, check Red Raider Recon. Check it out at YouTube/TSportsNetwork.com. Obviously did a deep dive on Houston this week and did a quick look around the Big 12. We appreciate all the people that have tuned in, but if you haven't, it's with Rob and I, and yeah, check it out.
Already had our biggest episode ever, so we thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. Kobe said, I would be okay if there's parity below us, but we're excluded and we rip off 10 straight Big 12 titles. Yeah, I would like to ruin the parity run over the next decade. I'm with Kobe. Tech at Houston is an other home game for us. Hey, Dos LCers.
Did you see the Houston AD go on the radio show yesterday?
Eddie Nunez, yes. I saved that. The quote. Hold on, I can do this. I can get this word for word. Somebody count down the speed here.
The internet?
There absolutely is. Eddie Nunez on the Matt Thomas show. We anticipate having more than the usual visiting team fan base that attends our games, but we're doing our part. At least he's self-aware. I actually do. I listened to the full answer because that was a clip, and it was a good answer by him, but at the same time, it wasn't, because you still just admitted, like, yeah, there's going to be a ton of Tech fans here.
Right.
This has been the Tech Talk Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.